Hi, welcome back to session 2. Let's go ahead and get started. Once again, just to let you know that I do have 3 kids and 2 dogs, so at any point I could be interrupted, but I'm just gonna keep on going if that's all right with you. So let me share my screen here for the PowerPoint presentation today. All right, so this is for our Family Coaching on the Go Parenting Mentor Training Program, session number 2. Now in session number 1, you learned more about real life families, our teamwork parenting approach, and just a little bit about the vision for this program. And remember that it is a movement. It is something that we're focusing on as a community to say, hey, let's support parents and families, and let's make this a community priority. So in this session, our goals are to go over some mentor procedures and expectations. So these are things that you'll need to know for the day of your volunteering. So when you go to one of these events with us, these are some of the things that we'll expect, and just give you an idea of what's to come. And just to share with you some insight into the mentoring sessions and what those will look like. And then finally, what can you do with a parent to connect them with resources in our community, and what are your next steps with that parent? So kind of going through different things that you'll need to know. So let's talk about the mentor procedures. So before each Family Coaching on the Go event, you will be notified with the date and times of an upcoming event. You will sign up for the times that you are available. You will also have options for how you serve. Now that will depend on how many volunteers we have and just the expertise of the volunteers. But we want to, at least as we get going and we kind of figure out what people enjoy doing, we want to give you some options. Now, again, it won't be guaranteed that you'll be able to do those, but your options will be to have the one-on-one mentoring sessions either in person. So that means that you'd be socially distanced with a mask and you'd be able to sit at a table with a parent and be face-to-face. You would also have an option to do Facebook messaging, because during that time period, parents can also message in on Facebook with questions that they have. So if they don't want to come in person, or if they're unable to get out, if they're working, they can Facebook message us a parenting question. So you could be just sending messages back. We also have a number that they can call during that time. Again, if they can't get away, or if they want a little bit more anonymity, or if they want to be way socially distanced, then there's a number they can call, and it's 9207-FAMILY. Or you could also be in charge of the resource table use. So you could be our resource table manager, and that's where you would help them find resources that we have printed out, or any books that we have there. So you would just kind of manage that. And that might be a great opportunity for you to chat with them about their parenting too. So on the day, or a little bit before, maybe the day before, you will get a reminder notification that you are volunteering, and that we do ask that you show up 5 to 10 minutes early so that you can sign in, get your name tag, and just be ready to go, versus flying in and being like, where am I? Although we understand sometimes that happens too, but if you can be early, then that would just be super duper helpful. And if you can't make it, please call or text me as soon as possible at 217-721-7449. So that way we know you can't make it. And we understand things happen, but we also hope that we have very dedicated volunteers, that if you sign up, that you follow through. We are just so grateful when volunteers do that. So expectations for the mentor. Obviously, to dress professionally yet comfortably, and warm if it's cold out, because right now we're coming upon a colder season, but obviously just dress appropriately for the season. Jeans and a nice shirt are fine. Masks are required. Just make sure that you don't have any political agendas on your mask. We will provide masks if you need that, and we will be providing masks for any parent that come up, because that will be required for them to be part of this program. And just be polite and friendly, and just ready to encourage parents with a positive attitude. So if you're coming in and you've had like your real life parenting moment with your kids or with your spouse, Just take a deep breath, say a prayer, and just be ready to encourage the parents that come before you. And then just know that as a mentor, we are going to view you as a community leader. And so we just expect that you are willing to grow as a parent, and that when you're out in the community that you would represent being a mentor in this program well, and that you would be respectful and patient with your kids as much as possible. And like I said, that you would be willing to learn and grow as a parent too. During mentor sessions, what I want you to remember is the acronym LEARN, L-E-A-R-N. I want you to remember listen, empathize, ask questions, reflect what you heard, and then next steps. So much of what you're going to be doing is listening and empathizing. So let's go through each of these so that you know exactly what is expected of you. Now, I know some of you coming in, you may have had lots of opportunities to interact with parents or really be a good listener, but I want you to really focus, if you haven't had a lot of experience interacting with people and really listening to their heart, this LEARN acronym is so helpful, because most of what you're going to be doing is listening and empathizing. So let's talk about what that looks like, because your goal is to learn just as much, if not more, than you teach. Okay? Because some parents just want to talk and they want someone that can be there to listen. So that's number one, is just listen. Okay, many parents want to talk and they want a caring, compassionate person to listen. So listen without interrupting. So just let them talk. You use good eye contact, head nodding, just making sure that you're really focusing on them, on what they're saying, and help them to feel like they're being heard and that they're being respected. Number two, empathize. So you're listening and you hear them saying something and you don't want to go into this big, long, drawn out story, but you want to draw from your own experience to empathize and let them know you've been in their shoes. Now, if you have not been in their shoes, then at least you can understand a really tough parenting moment, because we've all had them. But you can at least understand and empathize with their feelings of something really difficult that's going on in their parenting. And just let them talk, but also let them know that you understand and that you can relate in some way. Like, I totally understand toddlers can be so frustrating, or yes, I've been there. Teens can make you feel very overwhelmed and unsure. So just empathize. So again, you're not solving the problem yet. You're not giving them suggestions. You're just listening and empathizing. And those are the two biggest steps in these mentoring sessions. Number three, ask questions. Find out more information about their situation, because that's going to help you learn more about it. It's going to help you find more solutions. It's going to draw from your own experiences even more and create more of a connection with the parent. If you go straight into problem solving mode, then sometimes parents shut down. But if you continue to ask questions, continue to provide them space to talk, then they're going to have more honesty and openness throughout the session. So you can ask questions that say like, wow, how long has this problem been going on? And so you're listening, you're empathizing. Gosh, that sounds really hard. That sounds really frustrating. How long has this problem been going on? Or how long has this been happening between you and your child? So give them another opportunity to talk. And then you can ask them questions like, have there been any changes recently in your family? Like a new baby, a divorce, a move, a new job? I mean, just find out more information. Sorry, my feet are falling asleep. Okay. I got to sit on my tush. All right. And then what are some things you have tried to solve this problem? So see where they're at. What are some things you've tried? What have you done to try to solve this problem? So we're not in the problem solving mode. Do you see that now? We've listened, we've empathized, and now we're asking more questions. We're learning. That's the goal. Learn. Number four, reflect what you heard. So let them know you've heard what they have said. I hear that you are really finding mealtime challenging. You've tried taking away their plate and dessert, and you're feeling really frustrated. I totally understand. So you can go back to that empathy too. Now, the reflect what you heard part isn't absolutely necessary, but I think it's important to at least reflect back what you've heard, that you're understanding what they've said, so that way they can clarify. So again, the reflect what you've heard part provides them even more opportunity to clarify and to talk. So the first 4 steps of learn is you learning about the situation. And then step 5 are the next steps. And so this is where you step in and you help solve the problem. So it's not that we want people, mentors, to understand that we are not there to say, oh, well, here's what you need to be doing, right? Or you must do this. We do not want to say words like that. These sessions are about listening, empathizing, asking questions, reflecting back what you've heard, and then figuring out next steps together. So really looking at this as a team effort. And again, drawing on your own experiences. So you want to figure out a plan to move forward, right? Because that's what coaching is. Coaching and mentoring are about, I understand how you're feeling. Now let's figure out a plan that we can solve the problem. So here's the problem. How do we solve it? So you want to offer suggestions based on experience. Here's what I've tried. Here's what worked for me. Here's a suggestion to try. So even if you can't necessarily relate to this very specific parenting issue that they're having, you can still say, well, here's a suggestion to try. So here's something that you might want to try. So again, you're not telling them what to do. You are offering them suggestions based on your experience. And then you're using language that gives them the power to decide. Okay? You can say, have you tried? And then give them an explanation of something that you've done. Like, have you tried this before? Maybe this would be something to try. Do you feel this might work for you? And that gives them the power to listen and to say, gosh, I never thought about that before. Or yes, I've tried this, I've tried that. Okay, great, you've tried this. So now let's move on and try something else. Now I'm going to be giving you what I call some cheat sheets for you to be able to ask them a few quick questions, because sometimes kids' behavior might have to do with lack of sleep, overstimulation like screen time or busyness, or it could be, what's the other S? It's SOS. That's how I remember it. Oh, sugar. That's the other one. And so I'll give you a couple cheat sheets where you can say, well, if you've tried this and you've tried this and you've tried this and you've tried this, maybe it could be sleep. Maybe it could be that they're too busy or they're overstimulated. Maybe it could be that they're having too much sugar or red dye. See, I told you I'd be interrupted. What do you need, sweetie? Quickly, yes, that's fine. Thank you. But you are helping them be a problem solver to really dig deep and figure out what's going on. So that's one cheat sheet, is SOS. The other cheat sheet is TP. Like, I just think of it as toilet paper helping to wipe away some problems, because sometimes kids just want attention, and sometimes they just need a parent's time. Sometimes they just need a little bit more power and decision making. And so you can help them figure out a plan. How can you give your kid more time? How can you give them a little bit more power and decision making? And we'll talk more about those things in session 3, but I wanted to throw that in now as we're offering some problem solving and some next steps. So the other next steps is offering them some resource suggestions and some next steps that they can do. Okay, so if any parenting issues come up during your sessions that are beyond your scope of experience, or really beyond your comfortability level, or really just for any additional support to help with your parents' concerns, you can ask if you can pray for them. So if they are a family of faith, and if you are a parent of faith, then you can offer to pray for them. Like, gosh, that sounds like a really tough situation. It sounds like that you've tried tried everything, even the suggestions that I've offered, you've tried. Why don't we take some time to pray about it together? You can even call over the lead mentor or coach for assistance. And I will be that lead mentor and coach at least for a while. But there will always be someone who will be a lead mentor or coach who can be there to roam around and to step in and to offer some additional encouragement or support for that parent. So that way you feel like, oh, good, I have someone else that I can call over if I need some help or if I need some, hey, what do you think about this? So some collaboration, right? Because we want parents to understand that you're not the expert, that we're not the expert, that they are the expert of their child, and that we're all there to work together as a team. And so it might even be a few mentors that come over and listen and offer some support and suggestions. I think that's a great idea behind this, is parents helping parents. And so it doesn't have to just be one parent helping a parent. It can be a group of us talking about the situation, again, depending on the number of volunteers and mentors that we have and the number of parents that are waiting to see us, but we might all be able to collaborate and talk through an issue and pray about it. You could even go over with the parent and check out the parenting resources, because I will have a ton of resources printed out with just about every parenting problem that I can imagine. And you can say, oh, like this looks like a great resource. Let's read through this together. And so you don't have to have all the answers. And that's what I want to really encourage you on, is that you don't have to have all the answers. There's going to be a lead mentor or coach there that's there to help. You can pray about the answers. You can take them over to the resource table. You can look for a parenting book in the parenting library together. You can even refer them to another community resource or program. So if you feel like this is way beyond what we do through Real Life Families, especially if it's for mental illness, substance abuse, a crisis situation, then we will have a little mentor folder that will have a list of resources. And you could even take time to call with that parent this particular place or program together, and really just take that proactive approach to say, hey, let me call with you and let's find out what we can figure out together. I just think that's such a great team collaborative effort to say, I'm in this with you and we're going to figure out a problem, how to solve this problem together. And then you can also let them know that if they want additional coaching support, that they can, we'll have a little form to fill out if they do want to be contacted with a parenting coach, that they can have additional coaching sessions to talk through their problems, their issues and concerns even further. Now, we are mandated by the state of Illinois to report any suspected child abuse or neglect. So just know that that will be part of your job. And that's really just as any parent or citizen in this community, we are responsible for looking out for the health and well-being of children in our surroundings. And, I was a teacher for 11 years, so I know that that's just something that we're supposed to do. And so if you run into that situation, I understand that that's going to be kind of a sensitive topic, but you would be mandated to report that, as I would be too. I know this is a lot, but just keep in mind this right here. A parent is the mirror through which a child sees himself. And so the work that you're going to be doing as a mentor, even if it might seem a little overwhelming at first, just know none of us have done this before. This is all new to us. We're going to be figuring this out as we go. But the main idea is that we are going to be providing parents the support that they need so they can develop these close, positive, secure attachment and relationships with their children, because that child, based on the relationship that he or she has with her parent or his parent, that's how they're going to see themselves for the rest of their lives. And so this is a lifelong impact that this program is going to have on the children of the parents that we're going to be helping. And so I just want to thank you again for your time and to let you know that we appreciate you being here. So your next steps now are to take the session 2 quiz and then to move on to session 3. So I will see you soon.